During his 12 years as head of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis was a voice for compassion and peace, reformed the Vatican government, and took action against clerical child abuse. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio to Italian immigrants in Argentina on December 17, 1936, his father, Mario, was an accountant with the railways. His mother was Regina Sivori, a housewife. Together, they raised their 5 children. Francis's journey from a simple Argentine pastor to the voice of the Catholic Church and humanity in general has been nothing short of extraordinary. Among all the challenges faced by Pope Francis in his more than a decade-long papacy was dealing with the worldwide scourge of sexual abuse by clergy and its cover-up. A 2018 trip to Chile proved a turning point. Francis initially defended a Chilean bishop against allegations he covered up the crimes of an elderly priest, demanding that the accusers show proof of his guilt. He later admitted making grave mistakes in the case, a first for a pope. He summoned all of Chile's bishops to the Vatican, after which they all submitted their resignations. Later that year, he stripped the cardinal title from abusive U.S. cleric Theodore McCarrick, and in 2019, removed his status as a priest. Also in 2019, he held an unprecedented summit that heard from victims, where he promised an all-out battle against clerical abuse. Concrete changes followed, from opening up Vatican archives to lay courts to making it compulsory to report suspicions of abuse and any attempts to cover it up by church authorities. However, anything said in the confessional box remains sacrosanct, and activists allege he did not do enough. Unlike many of his predecessors, Pope Francis prioritized what he called the peripheries, countries with small or marginalized Catholic communities. He regularly called for peace in hotspots such as Sudan, Gaza, and Ukraine, and promoted dialogue with other faiths, particularly Islam. The Vatican operates behind the scenes in many countries, with diplomatic successes, including mediating the rapprochement between the United States and Cuba in 2014. In 2018, the Vatican agreed to a historic but also controversial deal with the communist government in Beijing over the appointment of bishops in China. His constant support, spiritually and materially, for ailing, war-torn, environmental crisis-stricken nations have echoed through the years as a voice of sanity amidst chaos. Pope Francis has also used every opportunity that he got to push forward the cause of interfaith harmony. A major priority of his pontificate, he urged the world to recognize and value religious diversity and work together to promote reconciliation and peace. Francis believed the world could overcome intolerance and hatred by promoting values common to all religious traditions. He visited various countries such as Bangladesh, Thailand, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste, and Singapore to promote interfaith harmony. In 2020, Pope Francis issued Fratelli Tutti, an encyclical that calls for building bridges between people of different faiths. Pope Francis took a soft, pacifist position on Islam. He refused to associate Islam with violence and denounced the increasing Islamophobia of the West. Instead, he promoted Muslim-Christian dialogue as a way to establish peace in the world. As a pope, Francis visited the highest number of Muslim-majority nations: Jordan and Palestine, Albania, Turkey, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Azerbaijan, Egypt, Bangladesh, United Arab Emirates, Morocco, Iraq, Kazakhstan, Bahrain, Dubai, and Indonesia. He was the first pope to visit conflict-torn nations like Iraq, where Christians have been persecuted by Islamic extremists, forcing mass displacement and migration. The visit was seen as an attempt to mend bridges between different faiths in the country. A liberal who loved being among his flock, Pope Francis sought to forge a more open Catholic Church, particularly toward divorced, married, and LGBTQ members. The approach angered traditionalists, in particular his 2023 decision to authorize blessings of same-sex couples in some cases. The Vatican was forced to clarify its position after an outcry in Africa and the United States. Francis strongly defended the rights of migrants, including criticizing US President Donald Trump's plans for mass deportations. Francis was also a vocal campaigner for the environment. In his groundbreaking 2015 encyclical Laudato Si, meaning Praise Be to You, he urged the world to act quickly to tackle climate change, saying rich countries bore the most responsibility. In 2023, Pope Francis convened the Synod on Synodality in the Catholic Church. The 2-year-long global effort for synodality was considered the culmination of his papacy and the most important event since the Second Vatican Council. Even in his final testament, Francis asked for a simple tomb without special decoration and with the only inscription, Franciscus. For all those who know him, Francis will remain a warm memory of a shepherd who chose to embrace the pain, frailties, and scent of his sheep with open arms. Most importantly, before he died, Pope Francis called for peace in Gaza, which many consider as his lasting tribute.